Okay. I want to start this one exactly how it dropped into my spirit the other morning. You know that old saying, happy wife, happy life? Cute, catchy, been around forever. But then something flipped in my mind and I heard, no, happy me, happy them. And I just sat there like, hold on, that's different.
Yeah, that lands differently because the first one sounds like peacekeeping, the second one sounds like responsibility, and those are not the same thing.
Not even a little. Happy wife, happy life feels like, let me manage your mood so everything stays stable. Let me keep things smooth. Let me make sure everybody's okay.
Emotional thermostat energy.
Exactly.
Like, if you're good, we're good. But what happens when you're not good? What happens when life starts lifing? What happens when somebody is overwhelmed, burned out, grieving, trying to figure things out?
Now the whole relationship is shaking because one person became responsible for the emotional weather.
Phew! And that's a lot of pressure. The shift for me is this: influence is natural, responsibility is chosen, and those sound similar until life tests them.
That's good.
We influence each other, of course we do. That's part of being human. The people we love impact us. Their energy impacts us, their joy impacts us, their pain impacts us.
Right. Connection naturally creates influence.
But influence is different from responsibility. I'm not responsible for maintaining your emotional baseline.
And that doesn't mean I don't care. It means I understand something deeper. I can't pour from an empty cup. If I'm disconnected from myself, if I'm exhausted, if I'm running on fumes, anything I give you is coming from depletion. And depleted love feels different.
It really does. You can feel it.
You can.
You ever help somebody and afterwards feel irritated instead of fulfilled?
Listen, yes.
That's usually information.
A lot of information.
Because helping should leave you warm. Overextending leaves you tight.
Whew, that's the line right there.
And here's the tricky part. Most people don't notice the difference immediately.
Nope. Sometimes you don't realize you crossed the line until you're already tired.
Until you're replaying the conversation later thinking, why did I agree to that?
Or, I knew I didn't want to do that.
Exactly.
And now you're drained for no reason.
Because helping isn't bad, because the yes wasn't honest.
Now that's worth slowing down for. The yes wasn't honest.
Yeah. Sometimes the yes came from guilt. Sometimes it came from obligation. Sometimes it came from fear of disappointing someone.
And that's where things start getting blurry. Because on the outside, it still looks like kindness.
But on the inside, it feels completely different.
You know what this reminds me of? Something Esther Perel talks about.
Ooh, I know where you're going.
She talks about how modern relationships ask one person to be almost everything. Your best friend, your therapist, your emotional support system, your accountability partner, your spiritual mirror, your co-parent, your lover, your safe place, your adventure buddy.
Phew, when you say it out loud, that sounds exhausting.
Because it is. That's a lot for one human being.
And honestly, I don't think most people realize they're carrying that expectation.
No, because it sounds romantic at first.
Right. I want someone who's everything.
Until you're the person expected to be everything.
Now that's different.
Very different.
And here's what happens. The more responsibilities we place on one person, the more pressure we create.
And pressure changes relationships.
It does. Because now my happiness depends on your performance. My peace depends on your consistency. My joy depends on your ability to show up exactly how I need you to show up.
And the moment you don't, everything feels shaky.
That's a fragile foundation.
Very, because now my emotional stability lives outside of me.
And that's a scary place to live. This is why I love the perspective in The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Such a good book.
One of those books that sounds simple until it starts reading you.
Facts.
The idea is that healthy love happens when two whole people come together, not two people trying to complete each other, not two people trying to rescue each other, not two people trying to fill holes in each other, two whole people.
Now that's a different energy.
Completely different, because happy me doesn't mean selfish. It means regulated, grounded, aware, responsible for my own inner world.
And that's where people sometimes get confused.
Exactly. They hear make yourself happy and think it means only care about yourself.
Which isn't what we're saying at all.
Not even close. What we're saying is, I take care of my happiness, you take care of yours, and we care about each other.
Whew, there's balance in that.
A lot of balance, because now we're contributing to each other's lives, not carrying each other's lives.
And those are very different things.
Very different. Now, here's the part that really hit me: helping without hurting yourself.
Ooh, yeah, let's stay there. Because I think a lot of people have good hearts, really good hearts.
Absolutely.
They want to help, they want to show up, they want to support the people they love.
And that's beautiful.
It is, until helping starts requiring self-abandonment.
Ooh, that's the line.
Because helping shouldn't cost you yourself.
No, if making you happy requires me shrinking, something is off.
If supporting you requires me constantly ignoring my own needs, something is off.
If loving you requires me disconnecting from my own peace, something is off.
And sometimes people hear that and think, well, relationships require sacrifice.
They do.
Absolutely.
But sacrifice and self-erasure are not the same thing.
Now that's worth writing down.
Because healthy sacrifice says, I'm choosing this. Self-erasure says, I don't feel like I have a choice. Whew,
Big difference.
huge difference. And honestly, the older I get, the more I realize that love should expand you, not shrink you.
You know what I love about that?
What's that?
It means I can support you, care about you, show up for you, celebrate you without abandoning me.
And that's the sweet spot.
That's the goal.
Helping you smile shouldn't cost me my peace.
Supporting you shouldn't require me abandoning myself.
And once you understand that, everything starts changing. Let's be honest about something. Most people don't wake up and say, you know what, I'd love to burn myself out today. At least, not intentionally. Most overextending starts with good intentions. You care, you want to help, you want to show up, you want to be dependable, you want to be there when people need you. And somewhere along the way, that becomes your identity, especially if you grew up being the strong one, the dependable one, the fixer, the one everybody calls, the one everybody leans on, the one who's always got it. After a while, you stop asking yourself if you actually have the capacity. You just automatically say yes, because saying yes feels normal. It doesn't even feel like a choice anymore. It feels like that's just who I am.
Whew, now that's a thing. Because people hear overextending and immediately picture somebody doing too much. But a lot of the time, it doesn't look dramatic. It looks normal. It looks responsible. It looks helpful. That's what makes it so sneaky. Depletion doesn't always show up with flashing lights. Sometimes it whispers. You get irritated over small things. You're exhausted but can't explain why. You feel unseen but don't say anything. You start feeling resentment and then feel guilty for feeling resentful. That's a cycle a lot of people know very well.
Oh, absolutely. And here's my personal favorite. When somebody asks you for something, and before you even answer, your body sighs. You know the sigh, the one that shows up before your words do. Your mouth is saying sure, your nervous system is saying girl. And that's funny because it's true. Our bodies are usually sending signals long before our minds catch up. That little heaviness, that tension, that you can't quite explain, those signals matter.
Let's stay there for a second, because I think a lot of people have been taught to listen to everybody else except themselves. Everybody else's needs, everybody else's expectations, everybody else's emergencies, everybody else's emotions, but not always their own. And awareness starts there. Not fixing, not judging, not changing everything overnight, just noticing.
Exactly. Noticing the sigh, noticing the heaviness, noticing the tension, noticing what happens in your body before another automatic yes. because awareness is usually where the boundary begins.
Okay, here's the truth nobody likes. Temporary disappointment is lighter than long-term resentment. I know, take a breath, because somebody just got called out,
Probably several somebodies.
including me at different points in my life. Let's be honest, a lot of us say yes because we don't want someone to be disappointed. We don't want to look selfish. We don't want to be the bad guy. We don't want things to feel awkward. So we agree and agree and agree again and then quietly resents it later.
Ooh, and now you've traded 10 minutes of discomfort for 3 weeks of frustration. That math never works. Never. Because disappointment passes, resentment lingers. That's the part people miss. Most healthy relationships can survive a no. Most healthy friendships can survive a no. Most healthy people can survive hearing, not this time.
That's worth remembering because sometimes we're protecting people from feelings they were fully capable of handling. Meanwhile, we're carrying feelings we're struggling to handle ourselves. Now that's the part that sits with me.
Me too. And something interesting happens when you start protecting your energy. Your yes becomes more meaningful because now it's honest. It's not guilt, it's not obligation, it's not fear, it's choice. And people can feel the difference.
They really can. A yes that comes from freedom feels different from a yes that comes from pressure.
Okay, let's talk about my favorite part of this whole conversation, calling your power back. Because this isn't about becoming cold. It's not about cutting everybody off. It's not about disappearing. It's about catching yourself and saying, nope, come back. Simple, but powerful. Because when we overextend, we don't just give time, we give attention, mental space, emotional bandwidth, focus. And attention is currency. Every time you're worrying about something that isn't yours, managing something that isn't yours, carrying something that isn't yours, you're spending that currency. And eventually, the account starts feeling empty.
Woo, attention is currency. That's good. And here's what I've learned. Calling your power back doesn't always mean leaving. Sometimes it means staying without abandoning yourself. Sometimes it means helping without overextending. Sometimes it means caring without carrying.
That's the one. Caring without carrying. Because those aren't the same thing. I can care about your struggle without becoming responsible for it. I can support your growth without managing it. I can love you without losing me.
And honestly, that's what calling your power back feels like. Coming home to yourself. Again and again. Every single time you notice you've wandered away. Not with judgment, not with shame, just a quiet comeback.
A quiet return, a quiet reset, a quiet reminder that your energy belongs with you first. You know, after all of this, I keep coming back to what healthy love actually feels like. Not what it looks like online, not what sounds romantic, what it feels like. And honestly, I think healthy love feels lighter than people expect. Not easy, not effortless, but lighter. Because you're not constantly carrying the relationship by yourself. You're not managing every emotion. You're not monitoring every shift in energy. You're not trying to keep everything from falling apart.
That's good, because I think a lot of people confuse love with responsibility. And over time, those can start looking like the same thing, especially if you spent years being the strong one, the dependable one, the one who always figures it out, the one who always shows up, the one who always carries a little more. But healthy love doesn't require one person to become the emotional pack mule.
Ooh, that's a visual.
It is, because some people are carrying enough emotional baggage for 3 adults and a Labrador.
Not the Labrador.
The Labrador is stressed too.
But seriously, I think healthy love feels like two people bringing full cups, not perfect cups, not overflowing cups, just cups they've taken responsibility for. And every now and then, you pour a little into each other's saucer. You support, you encourage, you help, you show up, but you're not constantly tipping yourself over trying to keep somebody else full.
That's the difference, because support feels sustainable. Self-abandonment doesn't. And one thing I've noticed, the healthiest relationships I've seen aren't built on dependency. They're built on choice. People choosing each other again and again and again, not because they have to, because they want to.
Ooh, now that's different because I choose you feels very different from I need you to function.
Completely different. One comes from love, the other comes from fear, and fear puts pressure on everything.
It really does. And honestly, the older I get, the more attractive peace becomes. Not perfection, not performance, peace. A person who knows how to return to themselves, a person who knows how to regulate themselves, a person who knows how to sit with their own emotions. That's beautiful.
Because they're not asking you to become their center. They're inviting you into a life where they've already found one.
Ooh, say that again.
They're not asking you to become their center. They're inviting you into a life where they've already found one.
Yeah, that's healthy love.
Let's leave everyone with something to sit with this week. Not solve, not fix, just notice. When you say yes, what is that yes coming from? Is it generosity? Is it love? Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it habit? Is it obligation? Because those all feel different, even when they sound the same.
And that's where awareness comes in. Not judgment, awareness. Because sometimes we think we're choosing when we're actually repeating. Repeating old patterns, repeating old roles, repeating old survival strategies. And maybe that's why protecting your energy can feel so uncomfortable at first. You're not just changing a behavior, you're changing a pattern.
Whew. And patterns don't usually leave quietly.
Nope. Sometimes they test you on the way out.
They absolutely do.
But clarity starts getting louder the moment you notice what's happening. The moment you recognize, wait, I've done this before. I know where this road goes.
And once you see it,
You get a choice. That's the gift. The choice. Not perfection, not certainty. Choice. You know what I love most about the phrase calling your power back? What's up? It feels gentle, not aggressive, not dramatic, not I'm done with everybody.
right.
It's more like come home, come back to yourself.
Whew, that's beautiful. Because that's really what we're talking about today. Coming back to yourself. After you've been scattered, after you've been overextended, after you've been carrying things that were never yours,
After you've spent too much time trying to manage everyone else's weather.
and forgotten to check your own forecast.
Exactly. So if you need a reset this week, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be a whole ritual. It can be one sentence, one breath, one moment of awareness,
Just a quiet reminder,
a simple, I'm calling my power back.
and meaning it.
Because healthy love isn't happy wife, happy life.
And it isn't happy husband, happy life.
It's something much more balanced than that.
Happy me,
Happy you.
happy us.
Until next time.
Keep shining.